your body and your mind moving. I'm Carol and welcome to Over 50 So What? Jessica Hitched said that maybe at 87 you slow down a drop, but between 44 and 64 there's no difference. I'm sure most of us know people who are still going strong in their 80s. And today we meet one of them, June Hewitt, and some of her fitness participants doing hoops, balls, bands and weights. Get yourself active in the 5-minute fitness segment. It is only 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day and you're on your way. Today, we're also going to look at the rainbow tick and how we as individuals and organisations we may be involved with can be more welcoming to our LGBTI older folk. Enjoy the show. Do you have an LGBTI friend or loved one that you're concerned about? You think they're becoming a bit isolated and you'd like to encourage them to get out and be more social, but you just don't know where to go. Well, today we're going to talk about the Rainbow Tick accreditation and other resources which can help. We welcome back Pauline Crameri and Andrew Rogers from VEL's LGBTI Aging and Aged Care. This is a program of Rainbow Health Australia, an Australian research centre in sex, health and society at Trobe University. Hi Pauline and Andrew, welcome back to the show. We had a great chat to you last time about all the different things to do LGBTI, and today we're going to look a bit closer at the Rainbow Tick accreditation. What is this? What does it mean?
Rainbow Tick accreditation has been around for nearly a decade now. And it is an accreditation program where services can be formally audited to determine that they meet and they are LGBTI safe and inclusive. Rainbow Tick accreditation is built around the 6 LGBTI inclusive practice standards developed by Rainbow Health Australia. So anyone can use the 6 standards, and there's some fantastic resources on the Rainbow Health Australia website. VELS has also developed a tool that we call the VELS Review Tool. You can find that on our website, that we developed specifically for services working with older LGBTI people. And the review tool assists organisations and services to identify what they're already doing, but also to identify the gaps. The accreditation is managed by QIP, which is Quality Innovation Performance. And QIP on their website has a list of all of the Rainbow Tick accredited organisations throughout Australia. Hopefully people can have some confidence to access those services.
So if someone's looking to move into a retirement community, or they're planning ahead for aged care and they want to, have an indication to their loved ones of where they'd like to be if they're placed in aged care, so the best idea is they just go straight to that QIP?
There's so many aged care providers throughout Australia. There's so many retirement villages and organisations. Asking them what they're doing, asking them whether they have any intention of undertaking Rainbow Tick accreditation, because not all organisations will have the capacity to undertake formal Rainbow Tick accreditation, but perhaps getting the ball rolling by asking services what they're doing.
One of the things to be conscious of too is that LGBTI inclusion is nationwide. So in rural and regional areas, there may not be the choice available of residential care or home care service and so forth. You are limited in those options. And so that means there is an obligation for all mainstream services across the country to think about how they are being inclusive.
And it takes more than just whacking on a rainbow badge or putting a rainbow sticker on the door.
It's not a Hollywood stage set. You can't have just that image there and then nothing behind it. And it can be as simple as a member of the community overhearing a staff member making an off comment. That one thing can actually deter them from ever coming back, because they might say, I don't care what you say with your rainbow flags, if that one staff member is saying something that means they're not inclusive, the whole organisation loses the trust of that person.
Looking at your activity programs, do you have any relevant activities and events throughout your calendars? Do you celebrate LGBTI days of significance and celebration? Or, you know, do you show, if you show movies in your centre, or you go on activities and outings, do you have activities and outings that would be of interest to LGBTI people and their allies? But I think one of the key things is you don't make it an us and them approach. So you don't say those activities are for the LGBTI older people and these are for the others.
We've got a lovely story about an older man in Sydney who was living in residential care, and this place was, you know, wanting to support him and be inclusive. So they organised for him to go to Mardi Gras, and some of the staff took him along and got him a fantastic seat and all of that. And the next day he was asked by another staff member, how did you enjoy Mardi Gras? And he said, oh, it was all right, but I would rather have gone to the North Melbourne Swans footy match. So not making assumptions, of not kind of saying, oh, they're lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans and intersex, they must all want to do fabulous parties for Mardi Gras. That may not be the truth.
Doesn't mean that they won't share common interests and want to share in the same activities and programs as their mainstream counterparts.
You know, people play tennis, but the question is, do they actually tell the people they play tennis with or bowls with about their life and their life partner and their experience? That's the question. Can you as ordinary folk who are watching this, who are playing tennis or playing bowls, going on shopping trips or what have you, can you not assume that everybody fits in the one box?
Following on from that last question, there's a lot of viewers that are not in the LGBTI community, but they're members of different clubs, of organisations, they're out and about interacting socially. What tips have you got for them so that they come across as welcoming and inclusive when they meet someone from the LGBTI community?
It's about thinking how you greet people generally anyway. You know, where we can say, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know whether somebody is transgender. So saying hello, everyone, takes that kind of old-fashioned gender out of the conversation. If you meet somebody and you see a wedding ring, for example, don't assume that it's an opposite sex partner that they have. Their spouse might be of the same gender or the same sex. Know that not everybody has children and grandchildren, but they still have lives that they might want to talk about. So finding ways of being curious about a life that isn't the same as your own is a really good start to think about, you know, the way you ask questions so they don't fit into the traditional, everybody gets married, everybody has children and grandchildren.
You know, thinking about if you do celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day and things like that, do you have other days where you can celebrate people who may not have children or grandchildren? That's not only older LGBTI people, that's a lot of other people in the community.
Do you have any final words to say to people watching either from the LGBTI community or outside that community?
Be welcoming, be curious, open perceptions around what constitutes really valuable lives and relationships.
Everyone has a responsibility. Everyone has a role in being either an ally or a safe and inclusive organisation. So really looking at what you can do. You may not have the opportunity to undertake Rainbow Tick accreditation, but everyone has the opportunity to make a difference.
Thank you both for coming on the show. You're doing some really fantastic work out there, and I wish you all the best. And I'm hoping that a lot of the viewers today and the organisations watching today will jump on board with the Rainbow Tick, and we will see this growth in programs and service availability, plus more inclusivity right across the board.
Fantastic. Thanks for having us again, Carol.
Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?